So talking about some of our, the differences that we've had growing up, right? Different cultural, aspects. For me, I grew up Italian American, right? Loud family, definitely not afraid to argue or to have differences of opinions with one another. I remember growing up and they'd be going at it, man. And I was the kid that I didn't like this confrontation. I didn't like how all my elders were always what I saw as
going at each other's throats.
Man, that's literally the words I was going to use, right? And so I'd see it, and they would get heated because often there was, drinking of some wine involved as well, right? And so the later the night went, as we had our family get-togethers, usually at our family's ranch, the more heated it got. Until at some point, it was like someone just goes, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to bed, And the good thing about my family is when we woke up in the morning, it was like
nothing ever happened.
Yeah, we start from scratch again.
Crazy.
Start from scratch again. In my family, definitely food was like a big thing. Unfortunately, we ate lots of pizza, lots of bread, lots of pasta. That's what it was all about. And I've learned now my body is not supposed to eat these things, right? But that's what it was, right?
You're talking about big family style, big Italian family style food that I didn't get to experience for the first time until I ate at Mortorano's in Fort Lauderdale. Shout out to Steve and Debbie Mortorano. Yeah, Mortorano's, bro. It's the best Italian food in a restaurant that I've had.
Is it still around?
Oh, yeah. I think they opened up one. I know they did. They opened up one in the MGM Grand as well in Vegas.
Really?
Mortorano's. Get with it.
Huh.
Hey, fire. So Mortorano's, check out Mortorano's, all right? Mortorano's was so gangster. When I first started going there, I went there with that guy that I be telling you about that I used to work for that I don't like to talk about too much because of who he is. We went over there to Mortorano's and like big family style. So Mortorano's, you're in there. The whole time you're in there, they're playing like Goodfellas or Casino like on all the TVs.
Nice.
While you're eating, but there's a live DJ though, so like you can see the movie, but you're hearing the music. It's going down up in there, right? And then when the pivotal moments of the movies come up, the DJ silences the music and they turn up.
Oh wow.
The gangster shit. And when I first started going to Mortorano's,
So let me just get this straight. So the music's playing, everybody's having a good time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you think I'm a funny guy?
yeah. What's so funny about me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and after that, the scene goes and it goes back regular. But like I say, when I first started going to Mortorano's, Steve Mortorano, man, Steve is a real one, man. And Debbie, I don't even know if they still together. I don't know what's going on with them, but they were good people. But when you went into Mortorano's, bruh, you just better have your money right. Because at that point in time, when you went into Mortorano's and you looked at the menu, there was no prices on the menu.
This just sounds weird.
And at
you
the
said
end,
you better have your money right because when you go in, there's no prices on the menu. So what does this even mean?
Means when the meal's over, they look at you and decide what they're gonna charge you.
What?
May God strike me dead. Anybody that was around Fort Lauderdale at that time, everybody, look, y'all know what it is. They got prices on the menu now. Yeah.
Of course they do now.
Yeah. Nah, but they didn't have prices on the menu, dog, because it was gangster like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Big Dog, man. I ain't even gonna say, man. We ain't even gonna start getting into names, man. I'm telling you, bro, the people that brought me over there, man.
You're gonna have to bring up names at some point, but here we go. So, tough love and loyalty, right? Definitely were different sides of the family, right? There were sides of the family that were like so tough on us, especially me and my brother. We're the only ones that it was two boys, right?
Hold on. When we sat down and ate, it wasn't like that.
You mean your family dinners, your get-togethers?
Yeah, your family dinners and my family dinners was not the same.
Well, how were yours? First of all, what kind of food did you guys eat?
So from the time I was a baby to the time I was 8, I was with my grandparents mostly.
Yeah.
And we ate from real country soul food, man, like black eyed peas and ham hocks, you know,
Yeah.
greens, you know, the mac and cheese. My grandma was country. She made, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but have you ever heard of hog's head cheese?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Literally, it's literally made out of a pig's head. Yeah, and there's many stories behind that, but it was just like I think it was strange for me because like two of my my aunt and my uncle they have mental disability.
Okay.
So it would be like me and my brother and my aunt and my uncle and my grandparents at the table, and I always felt like it was just like awkward. Like I love my family, but and it didn't feel like normal. I wanted to be with my dad. When we finally went and be with my dad, it was off the chain. Like dinner was like a movie, dog. Like we were doing it big all the time. Like anything, like eating. My dad is like a person that is like, he lived life like it's the last day every day. Mm-hmm. So like it was cool. It was a different type of experience, like having a TV in the kitchen, like watching TV while we're eating, like, you know.
But you guys actually sat at the table?
Yeah. True story. One time I was sitting there at the table eating breakfast. My dad was here. My brother was here. My uncle was here. And his 2 friends were right here in front of me, right? They was on the TV talking about some guy who just killed some guy in North Beach who shot the guy dead, right? And they show his picture on the TV, right? And I was watching, and I looked like this, and the guy was sitting at my table eating breakfast with us.
The guy that just unalived somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes. His name was Giovanni. And I'm sure
it's not Italian.
Right. And my uncle's like right-hand man was named John Burns, and he was locked in North Beach. These guys loved my uncle, but yeah, this type of weird, like, yeah, but yeah, different.
Yeah, that's different. But what I heard was you guys still ate at the table together.
Yeah, looking back on it now that I have a family, though, like it was my family, but like my family was not like, my family was a little different. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, every family's different.
But we were a family, though.
So I will say how things have changed from the past to now. Man, it's pulling teeth to get everybody to sit at the table together, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's got their own thing going on. It's not a huge thing as it was once, where it's dinner time. Now's the time that we all sit together. We share stories of our day. We talk about stuff together. We eat together. We break bread, right? That used to be the thing, at least what I assumed, in America in most households. I don't know if it's a global thing. I would assume it probably is, that families eat together, right? And it's definitely evolved in today's society where I don't think it's happening as much like that.
A lot more single parents.
Yep.
What else do you think could be causing that?
Differences in how everybody eats.
In my house, I do.
I've been to your house. It's like your dad eats a certain way.
I do 95% of the cooking in the house.
Yeah.
Everyone eats something different in the house.
Yeah, we don't just cook a meal and we all eat it.
Sometimes we get to do this, but most of the time it's like I'm giving you what you like. I'm giving you what you like. Like,
Well, me growing up,
And you
it's
can't cook them all at the same time.
no. But growing up, if we didn't like something, it was, well, that's your dinner.
Yeah, that
So if you don't eat it,
mine. That was not mine.
yeah,
Mine was, if you don't like it, don't eat it.
yeah,
That was my dad. My dad was like, if you don't like it, don't eat it.
yeah. But you ain't getting something else.
Nah, I got something else.
Oh, you got something else.
Yeah, my dad was like, it don't make sense to give, like why? It's pointless. See, there's some things about my dad that's really smart. I didn't understand.
I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't
put
have
him on
expected that, right?
No.
From him, of all people. But he was like, yo, if you don't like it, don't eat it. Go find something else to eat. You know what I mean? Why starve? You know what I mean? Why be hungry? If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. Why be unhappy eating something? That has created a different type of thing there, energy-wise.
So I don't know if this happened around you and your family, but it was definitely something that happened around mine. My mom would see some of my friends and some of the people that I bring over, right? She'd be like, "Oh, they're too skinny," and she'd try to like continue feeding them until they tap out.
That's an Italian thing.
And it is, right?
Yeah. Shout out Al Certo, man. Rest in peace, Al Certo. When I first started boxing up in New Jersey, when he met me, he was like, "We got to put some meat on your bones." He's like, "You come here."
Good luck.
So Al had a tailor shop and a restaurant in one building.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a wise guy, and Al would be like, "Anytime you want something to eat, you come here, and they'll give it to you, whatever you want." When he comes here and asks for his chicken carbonara, you make sure you give him extra prosciutto. Yeah,
That's awesome.
that was my guy.
Yeah.
They will try.
I definitely, food was related to love in my family. That's what I'd say.
Us too.
And it's still to this day, my mom gets some of her self-worth based on cooking for people.
Me too.
I think it's not just my mom. I think everybody does.
I love cooking for people, man.
Yeah.
The more the better. The more people that can taste my food, the better.
Well, still to this day, I have not had brisket as good as when I went to your house years ago and you made brisket.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Most people,
I've been waiting for the next time.
People be afraid of that smoke. Got to put that good 24 to 30 hours on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to.
That thing was fire.
Got a couple secrets, but yeah. Thank you.
So how does, the overlap between your upbringing, different cultures you're a part of, and then cultures like myself, and some of the overlaps and some of the disciplines?
I would believe there to be many
Differences.
similarities between, see me, I'm a multicultural person, but I was raised primarily with, see, I have a problem even saying this because I don't believe it to be I don't believe it to be a thing that is something that's widely recognized by all black people. Like, I don't believe there's a such thing as a quote unquote black culture that we all agree is a black culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So, but I see many similarities, you know what I mean, in the people and in different traditions that they do and different ways that they love certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what are some of them?
Church.
Yeah.
So you have in a lot of Italians are Catholics.
Yeah.
A lot of depending on where black people are from, but like in the South, a lot of them are AME, African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Okay.
And the church is very strongly rooted in these communities for both of them. Like, don't miss it. Like, primarily, at least when they're growing up, they don't miss going to church on Sunday. It's a big part of the family. The big dinners with the families, big family style gatherings, eating, things of this nature. Storytelling as well, because both of these groups are immigrant. Both of them not come from here.
Yeah.
only so many generations have been here. As of right now, probably less generations have been born here than was here before that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of different influences I see within both. The respecting of and the uplifting of the elders. You know, the hierarchical. You know, depending on the family, some is patriarchal, some is matriarchal. You know,
So respect for your elders.
yeah.
I mean, that was a huge thing in my world.
That's something too. So you see how you could be like, I'm gonna say it, bro, and you know, people could feel how they want to feel, but the facts is the facts. This is a stereotype that I'm about to say, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, black kids ain't talking back like that to their parents, bro. Yeah, like,
Why not?
oh, that incites violence.
So them talking back to their parents incites violence.
Yeah, so like right now, for example, because of the time period that we're in, like it's a lot less kids getting hit by parents. But like some people don't give them. Some people are like, yeah, I'll be damned, and that's out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah. And that creates a lot of
Well, we didn't talk back to our parents
outside
either.
of the house though. Outside of the house, that creates rebellion. No, I did. Because my dad taught me to always question authority.
Yeah.
So he was authority. So
you
guess
questioned him.
guess what? Yeah, that's how I become a man, you know,
Yeah.
is by doing this. There's never a time where, most of the time I can be quiet. I can reserve myself. But if sometimes my passion overwhelms that, because something I feel about something is so wrong, I have to say something.
I've
Yeah.
seen that in you a few times.
Yeah. But that's a necessary thing for you to be able to do, to be assertive when you need to be assertive, to tell somebody, nah, man, that ain't right.
Yeah.
You know? If not, you cannot be a stand-up person. You know what I mean? You can be a stand-up person, but not a stand-out person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody that people know is willing to go the extra mile for the right thing. You know what I mean?
So what about discipline? Do you think it was in your culture and how you're raised, everybody was extremely disciplined? Or were you fairly lackadaisical?
Me, we were disciplined because of my dad.
Yeah, I mean you've been through a lot.
Yeah. Like it's like now I'm 43 years old, bro, and it's like sometimes now I'm starting to barely understand some more things about my dad, man. Just about how he thinks and where he comes from, you know. But yeah, my dad, we do our thing, you know. We talk and we work things out, and I got disciplined in the weirdest ways, bro. Like I have to like write the dictionary, bro.
Wait, so you did something that probably wasn't your best.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh man, instead of grounding you, he's like,
I don't even know what that means. I've never been grounded.
okay,
Like you gotta understand something. Like, go to your room. You're grounded. Like, I got everything I want in my room.
yeah.
What does that even mean? That's why people don't realize.
Well, no, for me it was go to your room.
You can't go somewhere.
You're grounded, and you can't play Nintendo.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pop your head in here every 10 minutes to make sure I'm not playing Nintendo, though.
Oh
That's
no,
all
they
I'm
took
saying.
the controllers, man.
Oh, they did you like that?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean,
you must have violated before.
Well, yeah.
You was untrustworthy.
When you push the limits, then they're like, nah, we mean it. Take your controllers. Now we know you're not going to play.
Dude would be like, write the dictionary.
Is that why you want a spelling bee?
Yeah. So literally though, like,
I don't even know how you did that.
Write the dictionary though. Like, go in there, write the word, read the definition, write the definition, and then read the word and the definition, and just go. Like, don't be picking random words and flipping pages. Just go.
So how do you not write nowadays?
That's different. Copying is different from creative writing.
No, but literally, from what I know of you, writing something down is like, this is not Nathan.
Mm-mm.
Nathan will do anything to avoid any kind of writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like part of your trauma?
No, because I did not have a choice in that. It's like, you cannot go anywhere. You don't have a choice of nothing distracting to look around. Now you're gonna sit there and write this dictionary, bro.
So, what is the definition of illiterate?
Illiterate
Yeah.
is someone who cannot read or write, correct?
Is it or and?
I think it's
Read
or.
and write.
Read and. It's and. Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's and.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nathan, I love you, bro. You're semi-illiterate. Because you don't write, bro.
I can write, but like
in the last 10 years, I haven't seen you write anything.
my problem is when I actually want to write something that comes from here.
Yeah.
Like it falls short fast, bro. It falls flat.
I gotta know. Do you write if you were to write, would you write in cursive?
No way.
No.
I got one of my brothers that has been locked up for a minute, bro, and I just got his address, like where he's at, a few months ago, and I want to write him hella bad, bro, but I haven't done it. Like,
because you have a block on writing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm literally gonna write.
mental
I'm
block.
literally gonna write a few words on it and like put my phone number on there and like send it to him, bro, and a picture of me, bro. Like, because I'm not we'll chop it up on the phone, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm not like doing all that because it's just, for me, it's not worth what I go through.
Well, it's one of the biggest life's, like, showing somebody that you care about them to
And I've
write a physical
been
letter.
in that situation, right? Where it's like, yeah,
When you get that letter,
them letters are great. You feel me?
Yeah.
That mail call ain't nothing like that mail call. When they say your name, you're like, huh? Me? Oh. Walk up to the front, grab your mail. You feel me? Yeah, that's a good feeling. But
so I will tell one story. I usually don't get deep into the stories that, like, put myself out there, some of the bad things that I've done, right?
uh-oh.
But I remember a thing that happened. And this is concerning my little bro.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
little bro was always kind of like the troublemaker where, I just wasn't the troublemaker.
Man, he's a fun-loving guy, bro.
Yeah, he is. But
He's just a fun-loving
he used
guy.
to get in trouble, and I forget exactly how
Shout out
old,
Nick Biaggi, man.
but
My boy, man.
I think I was probably like 13 or 14. We're probably at Parkway at the time.
Oh, Lord.
And I remember Nick was just on my nerves, man. So I remember, I just figured out what weed was.
Uh-oh.
Like I seen people around school with it and all this stuff, right? So I just remember Nick just like, he used to get all the attention because he was bad, right? So I was like, I went into the cupboard and I grabbed a Ziploc bag and some oregano.
Oh.
And I put it in there. Oh. And, man, I'm not proud of this. But
Dirty dog.
So I went and said, Dad, look what I found in Nick's drawer. Yeah, I did that. Dad got all mad. And so he went, and of course, Nick's like, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is, right? Spanked him, right? My dad did
You're
spank
over there
us.
like.
Yeah, exactly. I was, and then at some point, my dad,
Opened it. He's like,
Opened it.
let me see what this is actually. What's this about?
he opened it and realized it was oregano. I was like, Anthony. I'm in my room and I'm like, oh no. Like, I could tell he was pissed, right? I hear him stomping around, dude.
He's looking.
Lori, where is he? He's in his room. So I was like freaking out. So what I did is I went and got a book. I put it in my underwear. He comes in and he grabs me, he goes, bend over and smack. Hit his hand right on my ass. But I had a book there. I remember he looked at me, his eyes, bro, was like enraged. He looked at his hand was like beat red. And then he left. And I was so scared.
Yeah, he's like,
he never spoke of this again.
I would have killed him. That's what he was thinking. I'll kill him.
He never spoke of this again. It was like a thing that never like came back up. He never spanked me again. I definitely never did something like that again. And it was a moment that I'll never forget about, like, you know, that I could do something not cool like that to my brother, that he would take a punishment, and then when the punishment came for me for what I did, I, like, in a way, kind of like put it back on my dad. And so I don't know what that brings up, like the kind of crazy that was going on. But it's something, yeah. So hearing that story, like, how crazy am I, bro?
You were a kid, I haven't had many times with my dad where it was like that. One time that he grabbed me, right, and said some shit to me and scared the shit out of me. One time, because he thought he had this girl, right? He had a girl over the house, and I was upstairs sleeping, and he went outside and walked her outside, and he locked himself out the house.
Oh,
right.
And you were upstairs sleeping.
I'm upstairs sleeping, so I guess he ring the doorbell. I ain't wake up.
Oh.
So he did whatever he had to do to get in the house, and he thought that I was like on some hater stuff, like I liked the girl, so I was locking him out of the house on some weird stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and I confronted him about this like several times in my life as an adult, bro, just to tell him how much of a hater he is. Because like I would never even think some weird stuff like that, but you know, that's my dad. You know, my dad was like my dad and my homeboy, because I didn't have a mom. He was like my dad, my brother, and my homeboy. So it's
yeah.
He was struggling with alcoholism, and it's like in ways I took care of him many times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a different upbringing, man, for sure. But I wouldn't trade it for anything at this point. Like I would not be who I am if it weren't for those experiences. I wouldn't be able to deal with the things that I'm prepared to deal with head up at any given time if I was not raised in that way.
Yeah, understood.